Acgt Tour Report Power Hour, powered by NothingisOB Golf Podcast.
Good evening, Alamo City Golf Tour. I am Mike Dermanuelian. I am here hosting tonight the Alamo City Golf Tour podcast, Tour Power Hour. Let's get into it. First thing, let's bring in Jason Bird. Jay Bird, what's going on, buddy?
Greetings and salutations.
Greetings and salutations, sir. Excited to have you here tonight. Let's get Travis Salkowski in the mix.
Hey, what's up, MD? Running the show alongside Jay Bird. My name is Travis Salkowski, and welcome to our new pod show host, producer, Alamo City Golf Trail Tour ambassador of media relations, Michael Dermanuelian. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Man, I'm good. I am excited to finally kind of get taken over the reins here. Now we can officially blame me if something goes wrong.
I know it's so exciting when the video cut off and it was you and not Andy. I perked up. I was like, oh, here we go. It's a new era, and we are excited to be here. Jay Bird, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Can't complain.
God,
it feels like
it
feels like I haven't been here in forever.
Well, welcome back to the show. It's been a month. You were saying just before when we were backstage.
Like that, yeah. Laura was particularly inquiring about my absence. She was like, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, everything's fine. I was just out of town for work, and then we were in Kohler, and I was sick, and so series of unfortunate events."
Third flight, great. I love it.
Yep.
Thank you for watching, CJ. Congratulations. We'll see some pictures of you in a bit. But MD, tell us about the show tonight. What do we got planned for everybody watching at home?
So, guys, tonight we're going to be kind of diving into a few different things. One, we want to talk about the great opening summer event at Northern Hills. Had an absolutely amazing turnout. Talk to you guys about that, the results. We had a couple of cool little call-outs on things that happened that were pretty exciting. Highlight the pace and some of that great stuff. And the course conditions. Holy cow, was Northern Hills in great shape. It's just going to be a lot of talking about how amazing Northern Hills looked, played, and really what that led to, which was some really great golf.
Yeah, we all know the trail's been getting bashed pretty hard on course conditions spring and here into early summer. But I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a great place to play, the greens were consistent. They were smooth. They were green. They were 100% grassed. it was good. It was good. Jay Bird, what are your thoughts? You played championship flight early in the morning. What were your thoughts there at course conditions?
It was awesome. They were great.
Man, a few words.
I love it. I just keep waiting for more that just is not coming tonight.
I think, and I think everyone who went to Kohler, everyone had the same reaction looking at the greens. The greens were in amazing shape, just as good as anything else we'd seen. But everyone who was in Kohler sat there and said, I had to figure out how to putt on these greens again.
Yes.
How they were
pulling. Absolutely. No.
And that was
what MD's talking about there is we had just returned 20 customers from Kohler, Wisconsin on the 2022 ACGT Tour Travels trip, where we were up in Kohler playing Whistling Straits and Black Wolf Run, and the greens were 13, and the Meadows course on Monday afternoon was easy 14, in my opinion. Some of the fastest greens I'd seen in a long time.
I dropped a ball on the Meadows course after I marked it, and the wind blew it out into the fairway. That's how fast those greens were. It was dumb.
And then to come back from Kohler and come to Northern Hills and have it look pretty – it looked pretty similar, but definitely was slower, lots more.
It was
grain.
5 feet slower, and the grain got me all fucked up. I was like, oh my God. Like you're in Kohler and you got a 2-foot putt, you aim at the center of the hole and just move on, right? Here, I mean, I think Patrick and I almost had 3 putts lip out from 2 feet just because they just broke so much. It's
it was pretty aggressive, but I mean, they rolled great. I mean,
they rolled great. Yeah, they were smooth for sure.
Only amazing things to say.
That grain took me by surprise for sure. I was not used to it.
It's fun doing course setup for a tournament when it's in good shape like that, because you can do cool things like put the flag front right on 14 and play from the red tee box. When you have grass everywhere, you can do cool things that you only see in kind of a tournament setting. But
yeah. Well, I mean, let's jump into Northern Hills a little bit more. Let's talk about the results. Let's talk about the conditions. Pace of play was amazing. I want to highlight that for sure.
Pace of play was great for sure. 100%. The last group of the 140 person sold out field, the last group played in 4 hours and 33 minutes. So again, we were recapped and out the door in under 5 hours, which is the time we really shoot for. If we're being honest, anything under 5 in tournament setting is a win for us, especially when we're talking 140 people playing by the rules of golf, alternate shot, changing formats. And I mean, there were a lot of people and pace of play was great. Shout out to everybody from championship flight all the way through to 4th flight. You guys did great. Congratulations to you all. And a big shout out to our ambassadors, Laura Lewis, Sean Vidal, and Jason Sandoval, grinding out the marshal duties on a Sunday afternoon in that heat, passing out water bottles to our afternoon players. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for what you do. Oh, Derry, I almost missed it. Shout out to everybody. Big thumbs up from Jason Sandoval. Thank you so much, ambassadors, for all you guys do on a daily in and out. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's roll through Northern Hills recap first. Let's get that out of the way. That's number 1 bullet point on tonight's list before we start talking about registration for future events and really, really encouraging everybody to register early for sellout purposes.
Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, let's dive into some of the results here. I mean, it was a lot of good golf. I mean, that's really what I can say, just looking through some of this stuff, looking through the scores, looking through kind of the end result. It looks like everyone played pretty good golf. I think the conditions were just so good, and I think everyone kept a good pace, and everyone just a lot of good golf.
You know? It's pretty good. Without Dustin here, Jason, you want to recap some of the flights, or you want me to roll through them?
Yeah, you go ahead and roll through them.
It's pretty good. Someone's got Facebook on there on the back door. There we go. Someone had the Facebook live feed on in the background there. Good. Nope. Now MD's on mute now.
MD's muted himself, yeah.
Oh, it's MD. MD's got the Facebook stream playing in the back, so he muted himself. That's what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to scroll through. MD will catch up with pictures in a second when he gets it figured out. This is the flight recap. I'm going to go right down the flight winners, starting with championship flight. This is the summer season kickoff at Northern Hills. Fabulous shape. AlamoCityGolfTrail.com to book your tee time there. I can't recommend it enough from top to bottom. The staff was great. The facilities were great. The carts were good. Never ran out of carts. And the course conditions were phenomenal. MD, are you back? No, not quite yet. Okay, terrific. I'm going to keep going. Championship flight gross. Dustin Weldon and Sean Vidal taking it away. 10 under par through a 666 format. Jason, when you're playing 666 format with your partner, Patrick, in the alternate shot, what are you thinking? Through a 666 format. MD's still working on that. Sorry, guys.
Well, you know, Patrick and I.
Oh, there we go. He's working in the background. There's Sean and Dustin.
We obviously, I know our goals going into it was to be 2 under in best ball, 4 under in scramble, and 2 under in alt shot, which gets you to 8 under, which would not have won the tournament, right? But we failed miserably because we were 2 over in best ball. So
Well, that is Dustin and Sean at a score of 62. That's 10 under. They win gross. And then Philip Maldonado, Chile, and Tommy Norris take the net side at 63. Do we got a picture of them? MD in the background there?
Yeah, we should have a picture of them.
But those are the first bonus points of the summer season. Remember, everybody, point standings reset. There we go. There's our net champ flight winners holding up their victory cookies. Shout out Laura Lewis and the Cake Place and More, our victory cookie sponsor, week in and week out. Thank you so much. They were awesome.
I mean, I know the old Chilster and old Tommy boy were really excited about the cookie part of it. Even all the way from Austin, they were they knew the prize there was the cookies. So.
That is one thing that you wanted to point out in tonight's show, Jason. ACGT Tour reaching big markets all over the state of Texas. We had players in the tour event 2 days ago from Austin, Corpus Christi, Dallas. Where else?
Yeah, we had a group coming from Houston, and then the outlying areas like the Hill Country, Rockport. We get people from there. It's just crazy to me to see, like, what is it, like they caravan, they carpool up from Corpus Christi, or they bring four or six guys come in from Houston, because I mean, what you've built, Trav, just doesn't exist in other.
It doesn't. Yeah, the amateur 10 handicap doesn't have anywhere where they can go and compete. And we're going to run through Northern Hills from championship flight to fourth flight. And these guys in each flight are competing against like golfers of like skill level. They're competing for the same prize money, and they're competing for the same point standings. It's equity across the flights. That's the marketing strategy of the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour. And you're exactly right. There's nothing like the ACGT Tour anywhere. When you register for a tour event, you have a chance to win every time, whether it's on the gross side or the net side, but you have a chance to win every time. All right, moving on. We are going on to first flight. That was won by Bernie Sandoval and Bobby Schauer with a 68 gross skirt. Feel the burn. Holding up their victory cookies, chugging the Michelob Ultra. That a boy, Bernie.
Bernie wanted me to remind Jason that one of them got a cookie and the other didn't, but it was the other one who didn't want to partner with said person who won cookie. I'll let you figure out who did what, but
that is a very complex story there. That is Bernie Sandoval is father of Ambassador on the Clock, Jason Sandoval. And Jason Sandoval, here's a picture of him coming up right now. Jason Sandoval did not want to partner with Father Bernie. Bernie won. Jason did not. Jason Sandoval checked in at a cool 6th place gross, 1 over par, 73. Very good. I love it. Okay, back to first flight. That is Bernie Sandoval, Bobby Schauer, 68, 4 under par, wins the gross division in first flight. And Chris Espinoza and Jeremy Semlinger, 66, 6 under par, wins the net side and those bonus points and victory cookies. Remembering that season points reset. Everybody started at 0. Everybody who won gross is T1, and everybody who won net is T8 right now. T8, 5 flights, T10.
T10.
So there's our top 10 is everybody who won their flight in the points recaps there. All right, second flight, halfway through. Cooper Willard let's go with Fran Fleming and Jeff Ogden, second flight gross winners at 69. That is 3 under par. Wins gross in second flight. Now we're talking mid-handicappers shooting under par together with an alternate shot in there for 6 holes. That's fantastic. They were super stoked. They are excited for the 9-9 event that is open for registration at Brackenridge Park. I know they were looking forward to that. And then our very own presenting sponsor with Goosehead Insurance, Sean Sexton and Cooper Willard, won the net side of second flight, 63. That is 9 deep on the net side, rocking their victory cookies. Big smiles. all around. Moving on, third flight, not pictured in the picture, Michael Montgomery with his partner, Tim Bowers. Look at these guys getting under par in third flight.
That's pretty good. That's pretty.
Where's his
darn
partner
good.
at? Had to take off. That
Dental
is
emergency.
Yeah, maybe not dental emergency, but needed to take off. But that is something that I wanted to point out. Tim Bowers and Michael Montgomery needed partners for this event, so they emailed in to the tour via the website or messaging on the Facebook page as singles. Jason manages all of the pre-tournament registration and lists, and got those guys together, and they end up winning. I mean, that is so cool, and that is just one detail that the tour does on the front end, managed by Ambassador Bird. That is actually Assistant Tour Director Bird.
I got promoted. Woo!
Yes, promoted at Northern Hills. Very good. To a card-holding position.
Yes, I get a badge and everything.
But yeah, that's one thing that we do. If you do need a partner for these two-person events, shoot us an email or a message on Facebook, and we will do our best to get you guys paired up. MD, I have it in full screen mode, so I do not have the comments. So any comments that you want to pull in, you're going to have to pull in.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite comment so far is this one from Michael Freeman right here. Crazy how Freeman got 90 points there.
Well, I don't believe – I believe he's on the recap sheet. I believe he's on the recap sheet, but not the point standings for two reasons. One, Casey did the point standings this week. So there's no way he missed that because Michael was supposed to be his partner, subbed for Danny at the last minute because Michael made it to the semifinals of the match play and couldn't make it that day for Golf San Antonio. And Danny Lee subbed, so I'm a 99% certain that Casey didn't miss that. And Sabrina did the results this week, so she was just typing off the scoreboard, and Michael Freeman was still on the scoreboard. So, yes, we'll make sure you do not get those points, Michael, and they go to Danny Lee.
Oh, Michael's sad now.
Sad face. I apologize. But the brutal honesty there, thank you for being a good dude, Michael Freeman. I'm super impressed.
I mean, Danny Lee earned those points. Dude hit ball out of the water.
Oh, yeah. Do we pull that video in, MD?
Which video?
The video of Danny hitting out of the pond on number 12. They made par from the pond on 12.
I did not. I can pull it up, though.
Yeah, it's on the Facebook page if it's quick.
It's on the Facebook page.
He took his pants. He took his pants. He took his shoes off, rolled up some pants, and hit out of the pond on number 12. Same par. Listen, I'm a competitive guy. I just don't know if I would do that. I'd like to say I would, but I'm not sure I would.
You don't partner with Casey Graham and not hit out of the water.
Listen. Yeah, for sure. There's a key piece of information here that we are missing to the context of this story. Number 12 is the scramble format.
Yeah.
Why are Casey and Danny hitting out of the lake?
Why are both
in the water?
If that's our best shot, that's not feeling great.
The best shot is taking clothes off, you know? But okay, that was that was third flight gross. Michael Montgomery, Tim Bowers, under par. And here we go. CJ Gomez, Scotty Cunningham in victory lane for the first time in the summer season. Rocking cash from Skins winnings, rocking their victory cookies. The best partners by par was the pun on the cookies. And they shot 9 under as well to bring home net and the bonus points in third flight. Congratulations, CJ and Scott. I know CJ is watching. Nice team uniforms. I love that. I think the team unity was on point there. It was good shots all around. Good job. Oh, what was that one? I'm sorry. Okay, birdie on 3. That's a good birdie.
That's a great birdie. That hole always plays just a little bit trickier than it should.
Oh, CJ was 2 over on his own ball through the first 6 holes. That is very good playing on those best ball holes by CJ. I agree, Scott. CJ carried you. Good job, CJ.
Good job.
And then, okay, moving on, fourth and final flight. We've got Ernie Cannon and Brad Haddon winning a scorecard playoff with double hockey sticks. 77, 5 over par wins fourth flight. That is still great playing. It was hot. Ernie looks like he just got done playing golf on Sunday afternoon when it was 105. But great job, guys. That is a scorecard playoff win over the Pascals. Spencer and Tyler also shot 77. They took home second place points. And the father-daughter group of Greg Graff, Ambassador Greg Graff, and Morgan Graff won a scorecard playoff at 65 for their first victory cookies of the year. That is Morgan's first victory cookie. This is her fourth tour event. And Jason Berg, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's been golfing. She picked up golf 5 months ago.
Yeah, we asked her in the parking lot, and she had like a very exact answer that I can't remember right now, but it was very specific.
Jason
that's
Bird,
right. That's right. Like hours, days.
Yeah.
Weeks.
Yeah. I mean,
Jason Bird, from picking up a golf club in 2017, how many months did it take you to get your first win?
Not as quick as Morgan Graff, that's for sure.
That was my point.
My first event, I signed up as a 10 handicap for the Brack Masters in 2017, and at Brack shot 99, 97 or some ridiculous number like that. It's humbling.
He's the best at being humble. One of my favorite Jason Bird stats is the first 3 times he made the South Texas Match Play Challenge team. This is a legitimate stat. This is not a knock on Bird at all. This is a really cool stat, and this is what the tour is all about. The first 3 times that Jason Bird made the South Texas Match Play Challenge team, he made it as a second flighter, as a first flighter, and then as a champ flighter. I think that is so cool. So if history holds true there, welcome to the team, Morgan Graff. Good job. Congratulations on your first win. Of course, we hope to see you in victory lane many more times. I know Greg is thrilled to play golf with his daughter on the daily, and it's something that he's really excited about. So father-daughter win on tour, I believe that is a first as well.
Is that a first?
Scorecard playoff win at 65. Congratulations to all of our flight winners. Those pictures are up on the Facebook page for anybody who wants to like and share them. Congratulations to our bonus point flight winners. T1 in the spring point standings. Willow Springs, spring event number 2, open for registration. Individual stroke play. Cedar Creek, individual stroke play, open for registration. And 2-person 9-9 new format alert. 9-9. That is scramble, alternate shot, Brackenridge Park, end of July. The next 3 events are open for registration. We can't stress it enough, guys. Register early.
I mean,
I just pulled signups like literally as we were on this podcast, and I have less than 20 spots for Willow.
I believe it. I mean,
less than 20 spots for Willow. That is that is a stroke play event in the summer. Only 20 spots left for Willow. You heard it right here on the Acgt Tour Power Hour. Thanks for watching, everybody back home. We appreciate you tuning in on your Tuesday night with us. For those of you just tuning in, we just got done recapping the summer season kickoff at Northern Hills. 666 format. That is best ball, scramble, and alternate shot. And the big news from the podcast tonight is welcoming MD, Ambassador Mike Dermanuelian, as the executive producer of the ACGT Tour Power Hour. Congratulations on your promotion. If we're calling it a promotion, here's
executive title.
Yeah. Well, when you make up your own job, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna give myself a good title.
Fuck.
That's good. Yes, the titles are very important. I think it's important.
I mean,
my favorite thing to
as soon
do
as my
when
business
I do,
cards come in, it's game on.
My favorite thing to do when I do tour business, and I know Travis has picked up on this, is I change my title and my signature every single email. Like we'll be interfacing with different resorts or with the trail to get like tee blocks, and I'll change the title to something just absolutely just insane every single time. It has never been the same on any email I've ever sent doing tour business, and I just get giggles out of that. It's funny to me. It's fun for me, and Travis thinks it's funny too.
I love it. I think it's cool, and never one time has he been wrong. Never one time has he been wrong. It's always been appropriate. The ambassadors, Jason, myself, we touch so many different operational avenues, facilitating the tour, from IT to maintenance to cutting hole locations to Google Sheets. I mean, and everything in between. So every time he changes his job title on an email, it's accurate. But I wanted to shout out Pace of Play one more time from Northern Hills, and I wanted to shout out Course Conditions. Al Martin and Danny on the maintenance assistant to the regional manager. I love that photo. The photo of my photo is so great. There's got to be a good story behind that I don't know, but I love that photo. Yeah, Course Conditions at Northern Hills, guys. If you're looking for a perfect condition, tees, fairways, and greens on the trail, book your round at Northern Hills. Give it a shot. If you haven't been there in a while, go back. It is in good shape. You won't regret it. MD, back to you. What do we got next? Northern Hills. Recapped.
I mean, we had, I think we should talk about hydration and heat a little bit. And this goes, I mean, this wasn't just for Northern Hills. I think this goes, I mean, this is what our summer is going to look like. It's super hot out. I think it topped out at like 103 on Saturday. If you guys didn't realize or didn't notice, ice cold waters on the first tee with our starter there for your guys' convenience. Grab a water or two, stay hydrated. Marshals out there have water. They doubled up the water stations out on the course, it looked like. Name of the game this summer is hydration, so wanted to definitely call that out.
I mean, yeah, it sounds super cliche, but by the time you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated, especially when you're being active golfing in the afternoon. And guys, let's be honest, in field sizes of 140 players plus, we're going to be playing golf in the afternoon every event in the summer season. So we're going to do our best to rotate those flights through. Whoever gets those late blocks, stay hydrated. I can't stress it enough. Prepare for that. Prepare for the water jugs to maybe not be full all the time on a 105-degree day. They do their best. They send people out there to fill those water jugs on every course in the country, day in and day out. And I loved. There was a Facebook post about this where somebody did the math. I believe Tyler Pascal did the math on the water jugs.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. And it's only a handful of foursomes it can service. So prepare, hydrate, bring your own water. That is not a problem. The ambassadors and the starter have water there for you as well. But I agree that is an excellent talking point and something that we're going to continue to preach. Health and safety, wellness, and stay hydrated.
Yeah.
I mean, and people can get flippant about the heat because we're so used to it, but the difference between 97 and 105 is greater than 97 and 90. It is an exponential effect on your body. So, I mean, I felt it. As you know, I played softball afterwards, and I was absolutely chugging water. And the next day at work, I felt it. I could not put enough water in my body. So it's real, guys. You need to hydrate.
Yep.
There are two more bullet points that I wanted to highlight from Northern Hills. There was the first ever, and I am not the ACGT Tour historian, so we'll let Casey fact check this.
He'll have to throw that up in the comments for us to confirm.
Thank you so much for watching, Tim. We appreciate that. I agree. MVP was the ambassadors passing out water for sure. I love it. It is something we're going to continue. We got a lot of positive feedback from it. And there's some more. Thank you, CJ. And we're going to keep doing it. We think that's important. We think that's a nice personal touch. It gets our ambassadors out there interacting with our golfers, especially in the higher flights. And that's something that's really important to us, that personal touch there. First ever, back to where I was. I'm sorry. First ever albatross on the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour.
Yes.
And hole number 10, Ryan Wakeham, the team of Ryan Wakeham and James Grant in the scramble format. They used Ryan's drive, and James Grant dunked it for 2 on hole number 10, a par 5 at Northern Hills. The first ever ACGT Tour albatross. Let's get that one on the website in the Hall of Fame for sure.
I mean, I don't care that it's a scramble. That's insane.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's a partner format. Who cares?
I mean,
it's the format that Tour is playing. Yeah, 100%. Yes. That's an albatross. That's cool. We'll talk about that for a long time.
No pictures on the scorecard, baby.
And they took second place, so they carded a gift card with their albatross. So that's good. Cash and checks with albatrosses are great. And then there was another eagle in the first flight on hole number 12. I'm stuttering a little bit because it was MD up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen at home. MD in first flight playing with Kevin Keeney. MD, walk us through. I know there's a video on Facebook of it. I don't know if you have it loaded for this.
I did not load it for this. It
got so many views on the Facebook page. Nobody needed to see it again.
It went viral. People just want me to wear a GoPro when I play now, just in case I do it again.
I saw it on Instagram.
It's one of those things.
Talk us through it. This is the scramble format, hole number 12. MD and Kevin Keeney. Talk us through it.
So, I got up to the tee. At this point, I had talked to Kevin and I are talking. We're at the last hole of our scramble side, and we are not playing great in the scramble format. And I had kind of walked off the 11th tee box and told Kevin, I was like, I think we might have played ourselves out of this a little bit in the scramble portion. And he's like, nah, we're good. We're good. Let's just alternate shot. We're good. Let's go. Get up to the tee. I hit a 5-iron, just trying to keep it down the 150 line at the 150 marker and just give us a shot in. Kevin, playing from the up tees, has a nice position to just take a driver and rip it down and try and turn it around the water a little bit.
When he says up tees, seniors on the tour get the opportunity to play from a tee box up 4 to 8% less difference. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. We managed to keep one ball in play. That was me. Kevin went to try and cover the water, and it did not work. So we got up to mine, 148 yards, into the wind a little bit, pin tucked back. Kevin hits a good shot, comes up just right-hand side of the green, and we just said, okay, let's just try and get something close. Asked him what he hit, asked him if that felt like that was enough club into that wind. Kind of helped me make my decision. I went with just a nice little 8-iron, hit it. That was probably about the best feeling shot I've hit. And about halfway in the air, Kevin's like, I think that's going in.
I did not know it was a solo eagle.
It was a solo.
Congratulations on your solo eagle. So everyone watching, pay attention. That is a 360-ish yard par 4 with water down the left side. That is carryable. And Mike Dermanuelian made eagle 5-iron, 8-iron. How mature is that?
That's super mature, yes. It's disgusting.
So
yeah.
every other video of hole number 12 is Casey in the water, Danny Lee in the water, Kevin Keeney in the water, and MD goes 5-iron, 8-iron, eagle.
Yeah, it was into the wind. It was scramble, so I know you can be a little more aggressive.
I hit the 2 straightest golf balls I've ever hit in my life on that hole.
Yeah, I hit a 5-iron safe, and then we had Patrick try and hit a driver because why not at that point, right? No point in 2 of us hitting 5-iron, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I don't understand why double driver is a bold move. See how it paid off for Danny Lee there.
Well, they made par. They're going to tell you they made par.
Still made par. But, hit it. I one-hopped, and it trickled out, and then it disappeared, and I kind of was like, I kind of laughed it off. Everyone else is kind of going crazy, and I'm like, let's just wait until we see it's in the hole.
That's what the video was. That's what, okay.
So
I like that. And
so
that
Kevin runs up there.
Facebook
he's like,
page,
all right, we're going to video you. Kevin's like, we're gonna video you coming up. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we got up there and it's in the hole. I immediately went on to hook my tee shot out of bounds on the next hole.
So between Morgan Graff picking up a club,
you hit one OB on 13.
I take that back. Not OB.
Whoa,
not OB.
I wanted to say that's a massive hook.
Like I said, it was the two straightest shots I've hit.
So that wraps up everything I've got for Northern Hills. That gives our flight recap. That highlights Morgan Graff's father-daughter victory. Eagles, albatrosses, bonus points, perfect course condition, great pace to play. I think it was a 10 out of 10 event. I'm super happy, super proud of it. I'm super happy with the ambassadors. They did amazing. Thank you so much to all those guys. And www.acgttour.golf to sign up for the next ones. Next 3 open for registration. MD, do we have a guest in the?
We do have a guest. Sean Sexton is going to be joining us. We do have a quick little intro video for him that we made up today. Super excited. We'll bring him in here shortly. So
our special guest is our 2022 presenting sponsor, Goosehead Insurance, Sean Sexton. He's also the presenting sponsor of the ACGT Tour Travels trip, and he happened to win his flight this past Sunday at Northern Hills. So let's see this rock star video. Let's bring in Sean Sexton, our sponsor. What better way to kick off the summer season podcast extravaganza than with Sean Sexton?
Let's go.
Oh my God. My favorite picture in that whole montage is him holding the tall flag from 13 at Irish.
Irish
It looks like a normal flag.
Hey, Sean, welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight? Thanks for joining us.
Great. Thanks for having me, guys. First thing, I know you guys said it 100 times, but still shout out to all the staff at Northern Hills, everybody on the ACGT tour, MD, obviously excellent host. I'm very excited to see that. But everybody with the behind the scenes stuff, I mean, that kind of keeps everything going for us. So just huge shout out. Thank you to everybody who still continue to operate in those roles.
Well, let's talk about Northern Hills. Fresh back from Kohler, played great. You had a great time. Your partner Cooper Willard was on the travels trip, and you got to hang out with him at Northern Hills. Kohler ACGT Tour Travels versus Northern Hills, slightly different playing conditions. Talk to us about your win and where you played the best, and maybe where you left one or two out there, and tell us your thoughts about your win.
Yeah, no, it was funny. Whenever you kind of sign up for that 666 tournament, you really have to have a complementary partner to a certain degree as far as understanding where their misses usually end up, and make sure that your recovery shots are okay to be played from those areas. Me and Coop never really kind of played together in that scenario. So we're like, hey man, where you miss it, like I don't even have that shot, and vice versa. So it was unfortunately learning on the fly when it came to that, but we were kind of joking. We kind of came out the gates, and I think we ended up going double, triple on number one, and we realized that wasn't going to get it done. So we immediately went to the drawing board and re-scrapped our plan on how we're going to kind of attack each hole. And I just kind of went down with the safety down the middle, and Coop kind of let go on his drive. And then we started getting a little bit of a rhythm there after four. And I think we go par, birdie on the next four through, what was that, 4, 5, 6, and 7?
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. Par, birdie.
So
yeah, that's a tough start. Yeah, 8 for Coop, 7 for Sean on the first hole, backed up by another 7 for Sean on number 2.
That's
but
right.
Coop made the birdie.
Yep.
Number
Coop,
2 got it going.
There. I think I made a 15-footer on number 3 for par. that kind of kept us going. And that was kind of the story of the afternoon. We were probably 1 or 2 putts just not being made for us, losing all the mojo we had. But I think if we went back and we looked at, we were actually just talking about it today. Like, if we look at like 10 through 18, we probably made a combined like 250 feet of putts, like in those 9 holes. Like it was ridiculous. And like 1 putts, we probably had 8 1 putts out of all those. I remember specifically on 15, we were about 35 feet away, and I drained. I pretty much had every last putt. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to get us in position. You got to make the putt." And that's what kind of willed us to the win there.
Shout out to those course conditions again.
Hey,
Yeah, for sure, 100%. MD, what you got up there for Sean in Northern Hills?
I mean, I was going to ask you, how did you feel about coming back to these greens, but I'm guessing that wasn't that big a problem just based on that.
I mean, definitely not the greens. The run out for a million years, a little different, right? You know, being up there in Kohler, and your ball kind of stopped wherever you hit it, and here it's just maybe it does and maybe it doesn't. So, but I mean, Northern was just in great conditions. That's just more of a South Texas thing, right? So, just the hard ground, just it goes forever.
I mean, when you came back into town, I mean, again, we just played a bunch of golf on just such different style golf and different, environment. Did you practice at all leading up to it just to kind of get reintroduced to Texas golf?
I mean, it was a last minute partner switch too.
It was.
Yeah.
So there's 3 parts to that. Unfortunately, on my way back from Kohler, I was actually tested positive for COVID. Very, very thankful and blessed that no symptoms, nothing went wrong with me. I was just at home. Wife and kiddos like in the living room. I was just like a stranger in my house. So I couldn't go around.
gone for 10 days, and then you can't hang out with anybody.
Exactly. So just tough on the fam. So with that being said, no practice, no anything. Once I got back, and then went through and got, obviously I have a little baby on the way. So just wanted to triple check and make sure I was clear before I even rejoined my family. So went through 3 negative tests, I think, was able to rejoin the fam. And I think that cleared me sometime on Thursday. And I think we just went and got a quick 18 on Friday just to swing some clubs, which was a horrendous looking score. And then just showed up for the Northern Hills, no warm up. I think we rolled like 3 putts and just had to get it going.
And that's how it's very easy to make 8 and 7 on the first hole.
Yeah. We definitely righted the ship a little bit there, but to the point of feeling like a little semi-pro golfer. Just the week before, where we were playing 36 holes a day on some of the just nicest golf courses you'll ever see. A buddy of mine, he goes, "How was that?" I was like, what? It was somewhat. People don't talk about this. A little mentally exhausting because there just was no holes to take off, right? I mean, just everywhere you always had to place the ball right. If you didn't putt, if your putting wasn't on, I mean, you were putting up high scores. If your driver wasn't on, you're putting up high scores. Whereas over here, there's a little more leeway. Northern's a little more open. When we're up in Kohler, there's no open. If you're a little right, that ball's in 12 inches of fescue.
Three paces off the fairway, you're making double.
I think the misconception of us going out to go play 36 versus 18 in Texas, it's way more physically grueling to go play 18 in the summer in Texas.
Without a doubt.
Playing in Wisconsin, I mean, I everyone I talked to was like, yeah, I feel pretty good after that week of golf. Like it was more mentally taxing.
It's the free pork missiles. Keep it going.
I agree. It's the free bratwurst and the hot dogs. That is a perk of Alamo City Golf Trail Tour travels, everybody. We have negotiated complimentary hot dogs and complimentary brats at all Destination Kohler facilities.
I made my money back on those hot dogs. I just kept changing shirts, different
hats. I ate so many of them. I literally could feel them weighing me down, but I still ate them. It was great.
So yeah, let's back up 1 week, and we are on the 6th volume of the Acgt Tour Travels trip, where Sean Sexton and Goosehead Insurance are the presenting sponsors. It's difficult for me to ask you the why sponsor questions when we're talking together, because it's the tour and it's our product, and I'm at the top of that depth chart. But let's talk about our partnership a little bit, and on why you chose to be engaged. And from my point of view as an operator, Sean's the best type of sponsor. He's engaged. He's there. He participates in every event. He hangs out afterwards. He's there beforehand. And you know what? If there's a problem or a hiccup, he's got a hand on the shoulder telling you it's going to be okay, and we're going to get through it. So, yeah, tell us your thoughts on the sponsorship side and what we're going forward with there.
Yeah, absolutely. The tour is just such a great outlet for just a multitude of different handicaps, just to play that kind of competitive golf. And I never saw anything like that ever. And just very fortunate to find golf when I got done with basketball, and just fell in love with it. And then found out, hey, there's a way I can compete into my later ages that doesn't involve me tearing ACLs or hurting my back or things like that. And then I just discovered the tour. And I remember my first event was at Willow Springs, and walking out there and seeing a younger blonde fellow with his collar popped and glasses on. And, I think the rest is kind of history as far as that.
It's all about the atmosphere, baby.
That's right. But, as far as the sponsorship of the tour, I just love the outlet. I love the opportunity it gives a lot of guys who may otherwise wouldn't have that opportunity. And we're just in a very fortunate and blessed position to be able to kind of contribute some dollars to that. And we definitely are continuing that on. We did make the announcement in Kohler that we will be continuing our sponsorship through next season as well as shout out to one of my other business partners, Ricky Ho, who is going to be on board with me as well, kind of doing that as we work through some of those logistics.
Do we have the logo that we can pop up there real quick, MD?
For Rick?
Yeah, they're both. There we go. Elevated Logistics. There we go. That's the one that I was thinking. We've got the 2022 presenting sponsor with Goosehead Insurance. And when you participate or get the notice to players, there's a QR code for Goosehead Insurance. Sean, where's that QR code take tour players to?
Yeah, and that's a great thing. And actually, just a small point I want to touch on. I got a lot of positive feedback at the Northern Hills, and you guys, we are a small business, just like a lot of folks here on tour. We definitely encourage everybody to get to know other folks and what they do and what services they offer. Cake Place actually did the cookies for my son's birthday. It's great to kind of give back to those who give back to you. And in that, we definitely want to try to earn anyone and everyone's business who's on the tour. So that QR code takes you to a specific link that allows you to put some real basic information in, and we're able to shop you across all 140 different carriers we have at Goosehead Insurance. We are the nation's largest independent brokerage. We pretty much have every carrier but USA and State Farm. So as far as price, coverage, and value, we have everything that's on the market for that. That QR code allows us to help you, essentially.
So now when a tour customer or an outlet from a tour golfer scans that QR code, you are getting that notification personally. That's not going to a third-party office. That is going right to Sean Sexton. Exactly.
We're an independent franchise. That one comes directly to us. We have a sales team of 8 different folks, if not one of them, me, that jumps on those calls. And it's really important to us, not only from a business standpoint, but also as a kind of from the tour side of things, that we want to make sure you guys feel taken care of, not only because we're there on Sunday with you, but that you can call us Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whenever there's an issue. We're here for you, because insurance is one of those things you hope you never have to use it. But when you are using it, it's probably a pretty big life event that's kind of going on. So you want to make sure you got the right people in your corner, the people who know what they're doing, with the right team behind them.
I mean, that's a great commercial in the making. Walking down number 1 fairway, scanning the QR code. Sean's walking down number 9. Got it. I'll see you when we're done.
That's right.
I mean, I like what Sean said about patronizing fellow tours members, small business. Trav, I always ask you when I have something come up, hey, do we know someone who does this?
And it's and the answer is always yes. We got a guy. 100%.
We got a lot of guys, yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's great. Those relationships you build,
guys and gals.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Those relationships you build are great. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all doing this as amateurs. We're all having fun doing it, and we have real lives, and we have houses, and catastrophes happen, like Sean said, and it's good to know that we have a guy for everything that can help take care of us, someone you trust in a time that you need that trust.
And let's pop that logo back up for Rick Hoinsey and Elevated Logistics one more time. And Rick's business with Elevated Logistics is same-day delivery in the state of Texas. So his phone number and contact information is on every logo as well, every newsletter, every notice to players, and every scorecard that you guys get on tour. So every single tour golfer and every single Facebook like has the communication channels to get right to Sean and right to Rick, our two big sponsors, right away at any time, 24/7.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to my buddy Ricky Ho, Elevated Logistics as well. He's on vacation again right now.
Hawaii right now.
Yeah, in fabulous Hawaii with his wife, just enjoying some time with her. Definitely well earned for him. So, Ricky, I'm sure you'll watch this at some point. We do miss you. But, guys, as far as what Ricky does, I mean, they have the ability to pretty much move anything and everything within the state of Texas. Sometimes same day, sometime next day. But whatever it is that needs to happen, I mean, that's what Rick does when it comes to logistics. He's got ins, and if it's something he can't do, he knows someone who can, right? So the Midwest slang of "I got a guy," Bird, that was funny that you say that because you usually hear that in Chicago all the time.
Yep. I got a guy.
But I mean, to that kind of line there, yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's so many guys on the tour that I've even just personally used. My playing partner, Micah, they've got land clearing business that actually was potentially buying a house I had to demo. Gave him a call. He went out and bid it for me same day. Do I think I would have got that had I not had the tour relationship? Probably not, right? Laura with the cookies. Hey, I need some cookies, on the spot. Can you help me out? Yes. Do I
commercial realtors, Ray Kang, Luke LeGrand, commercial realtor, Joey Gonzalez,
residential real estate there. Absolutely. I mean, Jason Cross, with his businesses just down in Hondo, Radio Shack and
Radio Shack,
baby,
Radio Shack and Hondo. Jason Cross. That is Cross Connections, by the way.
There you go.
The name of their business.
But it's just two guys I got to play with this one time, and they both have businesses that I would otherwise spend money with someone else. I mean, I'm going to spend it with people that I know. That's just the way I kind of operate and the way I do things, and not obviously telling everyone how to do, run their household, but it's just nice to know you got a guy that's going to shoot it straight to you. So
I also think,
and Rick almost bailed me out on a work thing. And if anyone ever needs enterprise IT for their small business, I can help you guys out with that. I mean, we got a guy for everything. I've told Travis this, but we've talked about this.
And I think
Sean Sexton's going to carry the insurance on the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour. The ACGT Tour van came from Rick Hoinsey and Elevated Logistics.
And Jerry 100%. Mulder bailed me out with Mr. Reuter.
Oh, I mean, Jerry has bailed me out 100 times.
Jerry does all the plumbing work for the trail. He hooked up a pool here. I mean, heck yeah.
Yeah, Jerry actually bailed me out more than plumbing. We have a fix and flip that we do. A lot of you guys know, so we do a lot of fix and flips. Jerry's done a ton of those jobs for us. But the biggest shout out was I was coming back from a tournament with another tournament the next day, and I had two grips just completely come off. Went by, I think, Golf Galaxy at 7:45 at night. Picked up new grips, dropped them on his driveway at like 9 o'clock at night because he was coming back on his motorcycle. He stays up till 11 o'clock at night, regrips my clubs for me. Doesn't charge me a dime, just as a great favor, great human being. And I have my clubs ready to go for the next morning. So that is my favorite Jerry Mulder story.
My favorite Jerry Mulder story is the cheese curd story in Kohler 2 years
ago.
That's
not my story, and if it was, that would be my favorite one.
Yep, we'll save that one for another time. Sean Sexton, ACGT Tour Travels. Your second year just wrapped up. This year as the sponsor. Last year, kind of a late addition into the Travels roster. This year, the first person on the roster. Some guidance in the logistics of it. Friends on the trip with you this year versus you being the last one on the roster 2 years ago. And the sponsorship. Tell us a little bit about this year's trip for you versus last year's trip.
Yeah, definitely a little different this year than last year. Obviously kind of knowing how everything kind of worked, the nuts and bolts of everything. That first year you're kind of shock and awe, and you're in a really elite area playing some really elite level golf, and having your first caddy, walking your first 18 holes, kind of going through all those steps. Definitely
the shock and awe factor, top 100
huge.
Course, top resort, 5 diamond, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I mean, just, it's first class everywhere you go. And I don't care who you are or what walk of life you come from. That's just amazing to see it at that level for sustained across everything that's going on over there.
Fun, yeah.
So that being said, coming in this year, knowing it was going to be that way, mentally able to prepare for that a little bit, was able to kind of learn and do some different stuff this year that I just didn't even do last year, as far as enjoying the courses a little more, working with the caddies a little bit better to get my scores kind of where I wanted them to be.
And that's a comfort factor. Playing with a caddy the first time for a 15 handicap, playing with a caddy the first time at a nice place, it can be very intimidating.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you exactly, they're reading putting lines that you maybe don't putt well, right? So you're slicing or you draw your putts, and they're giving you lines that you're never going to make that putt, and then you just start getting down on yourself. And I remember that. Also, it's like being the 7th grader at the dance, and you just think these guys are judging your swing and that they just walk around with PGA Tour pros all the time, and it's just really not that. And then this year we were really able to enjoy our time with the caddy, but also keep our group kind of enjoying it and keeping everything light and airy, because 36 holes in a day is a little bit of a mental grind. So just kind of keeping all that fresh was just amazing.
Really good point. Really good point. I thought we had really good caddy experience. Sean and I were actually talking about that at Northern Hills after his round, the different types of caddy experiences and the way they can enhance the experience for vastly different reasons. So that's a really good point.
Absolutely. I remember Cooper's a great example. Loved having the caddy, but didn't ever want them to read any lines or, just kind of keep up and shut up. And it was funny because he had a caddy on day 1, had a new caddy on day 2, but the caddies actually shared information about us to the new caddy, which you didn't think would possibly happen. But yeah, I mean, they kind of had.
They care too. Yeah, they give a shit.
Yeah, they had a caddy request us. I've never seen that either. Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have a good time with those guys, Sean, for sure. I mean, I think overall our group is just so upbeat and so much fun that the caddies just love being around it. It's infectious. So we actually had one go so far as request us. They saw us on the tee sheet and said, "Hey, I want to do this group."
One of my favorite caddy moments was from a time where I was playing with Jason, Dustin, and Casey, and the caddy we had was maybe down on golf a little bit, thinking about leaving the sport. And when we were done playing, we had a conversation with that caddy, and they were like re-engaged in golf because of the fun they saw us having.
Faith.
Yes. Yeah, it was actually a
she
female
just graduated
high school golfer.
Just graduated high school, said she didn't want to play golf anymore, and she was just doing it as a summer job. And she told us on 17 green at Sand Valley that caddying for the last 2 days, because she also requested on 18 at Mammoth that if we're going to come back that she wanted to caddy for us. Yep, I remember. And she said, I just want you guys to know that you've made golf fun for me again. I want to go play golf again because I caddy for you guys. That's exactly what she said.
And that's the atmosphere that we try to bring week in and week out on the tour, and that Sean helps facilitate from a sponsorship level, and that we absolutely bring to the tour travels trips. The camaraderie with real golf. Yeah, heck yeah.
You think she double bags yet? Or you think I got to pull a rickshaw again?
Maybe.
I just want to pull up one more point there, Travis. You did mention, obviously, I went a year ago and obviously this past year. And I can tell anyone who maybe just this was their first year that is listening to this, but kind of going back every year, it's still a different experience. Even though we're kind of going back to the same place and people are like, oh, how is that? I can tell you the shock and awe of the first year blinded a lot of things that were there to do that I just wasn't able to do. This year, I had a great opportunity to experience some really good food that I didn't eat at a few of those restaurants. some really good wine, some really good scenery, and walks that I didn't even do last time. And then hearing from some of the other guys this time about another dozen things that they did, and I was like, oh shoot, I haven't even done any of that yet too. So while it may seem like the place might stay the same, and I know, there'll be some kind of changes to that, but kind of going back, there's just so much to do in those kind of towns like that you're not going to touch it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trips.
The resort has tons of stuff. I mean,
so much
MG
to
played
do.
ping pong.
I didn't
even know that was there. Yeah, that's another one. I didn't even know that was there.
That was the most, being able this year to go walk around, explore a little bit more. I don't really remember at all last year walking out towards the lake behind everything.
Because we played 36 every day. This year we built in that downtime so we could not just focus on golf. We wanted people to focus on the resort, the culinary experiences, the spa experiences, going to sports core and playing the ping pong and going to the jacuzzi and stuff like that.
Even just sitting out by the fire pits in the back by the lake and just hanging out back there a little bit was awesome. Next year, I know the water, the spa, next year I'm definitely hitting the spa next year.
I know Travis, I actually got to break away a little bit from the operations side of the trip this year, and I went to the spa a couple times, and it's freaking world class. It's amazing. You can close your eyes and be somewhere else. It's awesome.
And they do,
just
offer us a discount for that too.
Yeah, part of our package is discounted spa services, access to the sports core, where they have saunas and hot tubs and tennis courts and basketball courts and all of that good stuff, workout facilities. There's a couple mile long nature trail around Wood Lake. There's a huge putting green at our hotel.
I told Cindy I'm bringing a pocket fishing rod next year. I'll go out.
You can go to the sports core and they'll give you a fishing rod.
No kidding.
Heck yeah. And this is gonna sound so dumb, but just being in Kohler, Wisconsin is like being in a postcard.
100%. That's Pleasantville.
Yes.
To the 100th degree.
What's the movie where they're filming the guy's
life?
The Truman Show, and it's
Truman Show for sure.
Everything is perfect, and the banners on the street poles, and they're like gas street lamps.
There's
just driving down
lamps.
that road,
there's
coming through
manicured flowers in the street lamps there.
Yeah.
And the whole time they're making toilets across the street in the factory, right?
Yes, right, and that's where it all started in the foundry across the street, plumbing parts.
All the stores open up at 9:00, and they all close at 6:00.
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
That's incredibly frustrating, but also at the same time just so cool.
That is a really cool point about return visits to the ACGT Tour Travels trip. Is you can really hey, I did XYZ, now I'm going to plan ABC for my off time. There is definitely off time built into the Tour Travels trips for customers to experience the world-class fine dining, the foodie stuff. The wine starts flowing at dinner. And I sat in the library at the Wisconsin room for a little bit, and that was a really, really neat experience in front of the fireplace in that old building. I thought that was really cool. And the courtyard there was awesome.
Yes. We finally spent an hour just in the champions locker room. We never had time to do that. And we just chilled in the locker room in front of the fireplace. In fact, we had the pub bring our food in there.
I thought that was a really cool time. So yeah, to your point, Sean, come back year after year, and it can be different. Yeah, for sure.
Courses are always in different shape, different conditions, different weather conditions.
You really get to
make
that
the weather
trip.
this year, though.
The weather was.
That is all part of this year's package. Was the Chamber of Commerce weather. 68 degrees and perfect for 7 days in June in Wisconsin is unheard of. So I believe it's been 50 degrees and raining since we left.
Let me look. I don't know. I haven't checked in on Kohler.
For
a month straight, I was checking the weather every day because I was so excited to go. And now it's I don't care about them, and I'll start caring again when we give a month out next year, right?
I'll start tracking at that 30-day mark. I'm going to be texting my parents hey, how's the weather? Look up there. What are we doing?
It was 83 with a 11-mile-an-hour breeze today at Whistling Straits.
Oh, it sounds perfect.
Tomorrow I have a little
anything I want to play in.
MD, I'm going to deviate a little bit here before we let Sean go. Can we watch the Sean video one more time? That was so good. I'd like to see it one more time.
Absolutely. Let's show it.
I like the green screen shots. I mean, that was fun.
I got that new editing software for the pictures, and I've had a blast with that all day.
Oh, that green screen! Yeah, if you could send me that photo, that is so cool. That's probably the coolest thing I've seen.
I cannot wait for the South Texas Match Play Challenge media guide this year. I'm super excited to have that green screen session with everybody who makes the team. I really like the beats in the video. Shout out MD, ambassador of media relations and executive producer of the ACGT Tour Power Hour podcast. MD on full display. Let's go around the horn for Sean. Last questions for Sean before we let him get back to his Tuesday night.
I'm jumping right in. Sean, obviously you've gone on the trip now twice. What's the big selling point, or what's your big thing that you'd say to people who haven't gone on the trip yet that might get a chance to register? What's your big pitch to them to say, hey, come sign up? What are your takeaways and your experience that you want them to know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of a threefold experience there. I mean, one, the community of just people that go on this trip is just phenomenal, right? Like we're not just going to play golf as well. A little unique, we all take in buddies trips where there's 6, 7, 8 guys and we all show up and play 5, 6, 7 rounds in 4 days or whatever. This is like that times, 20, right? Because we have 20 guys, 20 personalities. You just really get to know a whole bunch of people from a bunch of different walks of life. So outside the golf, it's really, really cool to see that piece. The second one is obviously just the championship golf that you get out of that, and really get to put yourself to the test of some of these courses that some of these pros eat up, right? And you can just really see like, hey, how does my game really stack up from South Texas to come out here and play some of these just kind of tough, like kind of tournament conditions. And then lastly, it's we all can kind of get lost in our culture and our day-to-day life, here in South Texas, and just getting out of that and going to experience something new refreshes a little bit of what we have here, and just how like lucky I've noticed that it is here. So I'm not a 9 to 6 store kind of guy. So I love the fact that places open up at 7:30 here and stay open until 10, and we can go out and have more than 3 restaurants or 4.
That is no bullshit. Every store in Kohler, Wisconsin is shut at 8 p.m.
Shutting down a bar in Kohler is not shutting it down at 2 a.m. That's the 8 o'clock call.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no. Jason, final thoughts for Sean before we let him get going?
I mean, he just hooked a W with Cooper. Is that his new go-to
That
partner?
is where I was going. Man, O'Livin, that is where I was going.
Oh man, no, yeah. That's that is a funny meet actually. So I think a lot of guys know this, but last year I played about 252 rounds of golf. This year I think I'm like closer to about 100, 133. Now I play a lot of golf. I practice 0 golf. Hence the handicap hasn't fallen as much as we would hope it would.
Jason, can you Google search what day of the year it is right now? What day of the year is today?
It's got to be like 177.
I agree. It's got to be 165.
182.
182. So that's 133 divided by 182, please.
I think Google's wrong. I don't think it's 182.
There was a point in February I was actually ahead of rounds of golf than there actually was days in the year.
Yeah, that is exactly what we're doing right now. You and Cooper played way too much golf. But as long as you're making money out there, maybe making money off of Cooper out there,
That is actually the new lore. Every year I seem to have just the one day where I catch everybody on their off day and my best day shows up. This year was the same.
Man, I forgot about the year before. Damn it, I was on the short end of that stick.
Yeah, a lot of you
Can we stop talking about that now that this year has come and gone and Cooper was on the short end of that stick and not me?
Cooper and Ricky Ho were definitely on the short end of that stick.
Hey, I came through for you on that last day, buddy.
You did. We were betting so much we started fading action against like Bird's match and going like plus or minus strokes. We were doing Nassau's on other players that weren't even the same group. Like
that is what happens
people.
at the ACGT
so
Tour
fun.
Travels
It
dinner
was
when the
awesome.
wine starts flowing. You start gambling on who can hit it further from the green tees.
Yes. My favorite.
No, we actually were gambling on who could hit from the blue tee while someone else hit from the green tee. Even with that advantage, who was going to have the longest drive?
Perfect.
And then,
you
betted my aggregate from the black tees against Austin's aggregate from the green tees. And I remember Cooper was like, "Oh, that's easy, McDowell."
I was like, "Nah, Bird's got that.
Nat Bird got it.
You cannot.
I got him.
No one
Can
hitting
we can we expect to see you paired up with Cooper at Brackenridge Park in July?
I think so. Joey's always Michelle was my ride or die partner. She is doing some family stuff right now, so I don't think she will be ready then. And obviously Joey's been a great partner of mine in between there, so we'll see which one of those guys is going to come through for us. We'll have to actually probably do some practice to make sure our games are gonna work through what we need them to. But yeah, definitely got a short list right now.
Well, Sean Sexton, Goosehead Insurance, the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour's presenting sponsor for this year and the 2023 tour season. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for being there. Picks up the phone every time. Guys, use that QR code. No harm, no foul for a free insurance quote there, eh?
Absolutely not.
There it is. They're Goosehead Insurance and Elevated Logistics, same-day delivery leaders in Texas. Rick Hoinsey and Sean Sexton, the tour's sponsors. Sean, thank you so much for giving us your Tuesday night. Yep. We appreciate all you do, and we will see you next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend at Willow in the Stroke Play event.
All right, guys.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Sean.
You too. Thanks, guys. See you guys.
I love talking to Sean. He's just so much content there. We could just go on and on and on, but we're doing great. One of MD's, Mike Germanuelian's executive producer goals or his task list is to keep the ACGT Tour Power Hour under an hour and a half. That is one of our goals for the summer season, and MD so far
we're very close to my schedule, which Bird was very certain would not happen.
There's a schedule. He's sending out text messages. I mean, it is very organized and very well done. MD, congratulations. I love the videos. I love the content. Thank you so much for taking this task list off of Jason and myself. Thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you are doing. What's up next, Jason Bird? Do we have any fun facts, stats from Northern Hills, upcoming events? What do we got next?
I mean, it's hard to extrapolate stats from a 666, but I thought it was interesting that the hardest hole in the best ball format was number 1.
Really?
Wow, I never would have guessed that. I would have guessed every other hole except number 1.
I would have put money on number 4. But that was the second hardest.
I would have put it maybe on number
4 and number 1 were virtually tied, but number 1 beat it out by just a frog hair.
So that's amazing statistics. So we have an easy par 5, right? We have an easy par 5 as the hardest hole, and we have a par 3 that the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour so skillfully set up from the red tees played as the number 2 hard hole.
Is that just people just taking driver and trying to be aggressive, or?
I did see a lot of drives from Championship Flight go in the pond there, including assistant tour director Jason Bird.
I mean,
hey, I made a very good 7 there to save the team. I just want to put that out there.
That is a carded 7 on hole number 1 for Championship Flight team of Dr. DeCosimo and Jason Bird.
I mean, that was my 4-iron. And then just a quick little 20-yard chip up was my
very mature, mature.
I'm deathly afraid of the water. I mean, let's just be honest here. It's more fear than it is maturity.
I should
Actually,
have hit iron for sure.
actually, on our timeline,
Absolutely.
we are currently at the 9:40 time block, and it legitimately says any fun Jaybird stats. That is what we are doing so good right now.
I mean, that was the hardest hole in the best ball format, but everyone can guess that the hardest hole in total came out of alt shot, right?
Yep, number 15.
You think 15? You
think
think it's 15?
On
I think
alt
it's 15.
shot, I
Maybe
would
13.
maybe
Maybe 13.
18. I'll say 18.
I'm gonna stick with 15.
If it's full field, it's 15. If it's just champ flight, it's 18.
Really?
Wow, we're both right.
Yep.
It's amazing. It's the world we live in. Everybody's right all the time. I love it.
Just depends how you look at it, right?
What about fourth flight? Fourth flight, alt shot, hardest hole. Hold on, don't tell us. Let's take comments. Fourth flight golfers, 6 holes, 13 through 18. Let's take comments. What is the most difficult alternate shot hole for the fourth flighters? Jason, can we get a clue?
We've already mentioned this hole.
We've already mentioned this hole. So alt shot, fourth flight. What guesses do we have, MD?
Right now, no one. I have Austin McDowell saying all of them.
Perfect.
It's
All
his
of
guess.
them cry face. That's so offensive.
I mean, that's just rude.
Fourth
it's
flighters
15.
are people too. 15.
It's 15.
15. Tim White, 15. Good guess. Correct answer. Thank you for still watching, going the whole way with us. There, Andy Torres,
Just
Nothing is OB South Texas Golf Podcast watching. Number 15, Brad, we already got it.
it's 15. There you go.
Alternate shots fun. Alternate shots fun for me because I'm not playing, right? I'm the only director or ambassador at the course that day that's not playing. So alt shots super fun for me.
I think if I were to go back and look at like alt play from like maybe the last 2 or 3 events, I think I've had more luck with my teammates playing alt shot than we've done playing scramble.
I think it's ironic.
The winners for sure.
I think that's ironic that you say that because if you do all flights, the 6 easiest holes across all flights, if you put all golfers in, are all the scramble holes.
All the scramble holes. Yep.
All of them. But if you filter it to champ flight, that is not true at all.
Alt shot plays a little easier than scramble.
2 holes in alt shot crack the 6 easiest holes for champ flight, and that is, of course, we can get
number 17.
And then because of the way it was set up, 14 is sand wedge or lob wedge for champ flight, and that one played under par severely for champ flight.
Yeah, okay. What's the difference in relation to par from champ flight to fourth flight there on a 110-yard hole? This is something
I didn't even know that tee box was there. I've never noticed that tee box.
Champ flight played that hole with a stroke average and alt shot of 2.46.
2.46 was the stroke average. The average score was under par in alternate shot for champ flight on hole number 14. And for fourth flight, it was
3.62.
So more than a stroke, 1.22 strokes more from 110 yards. 1.22 strokes more for 110 yards. There's so many bullet points of context that we can take out of that, but the one that I want everybody to take out, there's a home for you on the tour. The tour covers every skill level every week, from birdies and alternate shot to 35 footers for par and scorecard playoffs. There's a home for everybody.
A complete 1-stroke difference on 17 as well for alt shot.
Yeah.
I think that is so cool. Everybody, spring event number 1 is in the books. We've got back-to-back stroke play events coming up. Open for registration. www.acgttour.golf on the scroller below. That is your home for all information tour. It's got the calendar, the point standings, the handicap database, the upcoming events, and the often overlooked FAQ page. If you ever have a question The FAQ page on the tour's website more than likely will answer that question. If not, our email addresses are there, and we are here for you. Give us a day or two to respond. Everybody else, everybody on this screen right now has full-time day jobs, and we do the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour for you guys at home. That is why we do it. We do it for you guys. It's not about the money. It's about facilitating amateur golf, elite amateur golf at a community level in South Texas. So final thoughts. Let's go around the horn. Jason, MD, myself, and then MD will take it out.
Every single scramble hole in Champ Flight played under par. That's my last closing thought.
Closing thoughts. Every scramble hole, Champ Flight. So shut up and bring it if you're going to play in Champ Flight. I know we talk about it a lot, but the level of competition in Championship Flight that it brings week in and week out on the tour, from setting course records and master champions Will Griffin at Olmos Basin to freaking 10 under in a 666 format. You need to bring it in Championship Flight on tour. Even par. What even par get you, Jay Bird? 7th place? 6th place?
I got 5th gross at even par, I believe.
Even par in first flight didn't even get top 3.
The level of competition on tour is stiff. Only
one hole played over par in first flight for scramble, and that was number 7.
Yeah, that I believe.
7 into the wind. That was a tough flag too. That was a tough flag on number 7. Yep. Final thoughts. Thank you so much to the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour ambassadors. Micah Carroll, Greg Graff manned the starting duties this past weekend. Jason Sandoval, Laura Lewis, Sean Vidal handled all of the marshaling afterwards with those cold water bottles being passed out. And our lead ambassadors, Casey Graham and Dustin Hassan, handled the scoring area, allowed me to be where I needed to be. And shout out to Jason Bird, assistant tour director. He handles everything, registration, everything on the front end of every tournament, the website, the registration pages, all of the coordination with the tee sheets, all of that good stuff. Shout out to the ambassadors. Thank you so much for helping make the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour the home and authority on amateur golf in South Texas. And final thoughts for the customers and viewers watching. Don't delay. Sign up for events now. If you want to play, don't delay and sign up. We had 15 teams on the waiting list for Northern Hills. That is 30 golfers didn't get to play.
12 didn't get to play.
And
you said that backwards.
No, 15.
Well, you can't. It wasn't 15 teams. It was 12 total golfers on the waiting list. So 6 teams.
6 teams, 12 golfers. I'm sorry, I thought it was 12 teams.
Yeah.
I said that like 50 times at Northern Hills. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I miscommunicated that, I guess.
Yeah, it's all right.
I said 12 on the waiting list, and you assumed teams, and I meant golfers, yeah. But I did get 4 signups during this podcast, so we are under 20 left for Willow. So,
point is, acgttour.golf. Registration for the next 3 events are open. That is all the way through July the 27th. Sign up. Don't delay. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Jason Bird, thank you for being here. MD, take us away, buddy.
Guys, thank you so much for all you guys do for the tour. I know everyone out there appreciates it. To our viewers out there tonight, thank you so much for watching. Sean Sexton, thanks for jumping on with us and talking. Always a great experience. And guys, podcast 14, week 14 in the books. Excited to be a part of it. Looking forward to next week and off. We're going to have some cool stuff for you. But I think that's all we got for you tonight. Everyone have a good night, and we will see you next week.
See you next week, Tuesday, 8:30 on the ACGT Tour Power Hour. Look at the flow in the media guide, everybody. There's your final thoughts. ACGT Tour Power Hour every Tuesday night. Like the Facebook page, ACGT Tour Amateur Tour Series. We'll see you playing on tour in 2 weekends at Willow Springs. MD, thank you and good night. Jason Bird, thank you and good night. Love you all. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everyone.